Okay, welcome back. Just as highlighted earlier, this is a small aspect that adds on the aspect of thinking or cognitive skills. And this is a very important part, especially when we are graduating from what we saw earlier on technical structure of the paper, content development aspect, and now we are on thinking or cognitive skills before we go to marking guide or other aspect. Now, when moderating this part, it's a very important aspect to really inform the assessor if some of these items have not been met. Now, you realize, like we mentioned earlier, if you decide any one of these items are not met, you should actually clearly highlight or by ticking one way or the other. Now, the first question here is about moderator should check whether the assessment covers different levels of thinking. Now, we talked about earlier different levels of Bloom's taxonomy where you develop learning outcome from level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4 up to level 6. Now we have had situation where you may see an exam assessment where assessor has only concentrated and in a full examination only on lower level where you're just assessing students at very low level with no graduation of cognition skills. Now, if it comes to remembering, questions are only set on matching, recognition, identification, which really does not show understanding or application. It's important to highlight that, or rather, you can actually say either partially met in this case, so that the assessor can actually observe those components going forward. So remember, make sure the assessment has graduated learning outcome assessment criteria, questions that from lower to higher, maybe it's remembering, understanding, application, those questions should be observed, and in that way they look at the thinking or cognitive skills. On the other hand, number two, choice questions are equally difficult and valuable. Now, I've seen very major weaknesses, especially when assessors are developing this assessment. They do not provide equal opportunity in terms of choice questions. What it means is that when it comes to section C, where we have section A, maybe could be multiple choice. Section B could be case study. This could be actually fully questions that are supposed to be fully attempted. But when it comes to section C, where there are option questions or questions that you're supposed to choose. Now, assessors tend to set questions with different difficulty levels, and the nature of the participants or students, they tend to move to move towards those questions that are simpler, right? In this case, you should provide those questions under equal difficulty, meaning they should provide opportunity for students to choose their strength of expression, because each student may have their own area that they provide they are good at or they have strength into. So don't provide questions which are a little bit easier than the other. This way you may not give that objective where the student may not express themselves in terms of their strength. They will tend to move towards those that are easy, and the point will be totally missed. So here also, if you feel it has not been met or you've identified questions that are difficult than the other than expressing equal difficulties, then you should highlight and educate the assessor to really correct that. Marks are well distributed. Number three, for length and paper, we highlighted this area. Make sure the content, the marks, the length should actually be well aligned. Those questions that are of technical difficulty, they should actually be rewarded with higher marks. Those that are multiple choice questions, these questions should actually be given lower marks, like your 2 marks, your 3 marks. Well, the technical questions in terms of time and length should be awarded a little bit higher mark. Now, if you feel this has been met, then you should actually tick. Now, on the other side as well, when there should be a provision of where the assessment provides or includes a mix of questions types in terms of the facts, data, critical thinking, problem solving, words, numbers, and visuals. In most cases, we have assessment where they only concentrate on text fully. There is no number expression. There are no facts. There are no case study where the participants or students should express themselves looking at different information content. Include numbers there. Give them critical thinking somewhere. Give them data or numeric out there to express themselves. In that way, you're providing a mix of where skills and even creativity can be expressed, as we had seen earlier on the content. Now, in this case, if this has not been met, you should express and highlight this to the assessor. Now, these are very four areas which are very critical in moderation. As a moderator, please pay close attention and comment this with the assessor so that the assessor can improve on that assessment. Do not let it pass to students where you feel thinking and cognitive skills have not been appropriately assessed within particular assessment. And with this will help us improve how we moderate this area and improve our assessment. Thank you so much. I'll be seeing shortly for the marking guide and feedback moderation aspect. Thank you so much.